In light of a recent punishment, Hendricks Racing has decided whether or not to appeal. But that's not all. Byron and Alex Bowman are each dealing with their own setbacks after being penalized. Despite the defeats, Bowman remains optimistic, whereas Byron certainly isn't. With the championship race in full flow, what happens next is anyone's guess. Join us on today's video on NASCAR Zone as we go deeper into what's going on in NASCAR. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. There are rules in NASCAR for a reason. They are written down in the long book of rules. And when these rules are broken, the body in charge of punishment does just that. It punishes the people who did wrong. Hendrick Motorsport was the most recent team to push the limits by changing parts from a single provider. As a result, NASCAR punished all of its team to the large fine, the suspension of crew chiefs, and the loss of points. On appeal, however, the punishment was greatly lessened, and all of the team's points were given back. Officials at NASCAR were naturally upset by the change, since it took away the most important part of the penalty. On Sunday after Richmond, the governing body made a move that sent a clear message to the sport's most successful team that it didn't agree with the choice. Hendrick Motorsport's punishment was lessened. Since the next-gen car was introduced last season, NASCAR has made it clear that it will not let single-source parts be changed in any way. Just ask Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, or Kevin Harvick. Last year, they all got hit with huge fines for the governing body. Hendrick Motorsports was the first organization to find itself in the crosshairs in 2023 after the Phoenix race, when NASCAR handed out an L2 penalty that included a $100,000 fine and a 4-race suspension for each of the 4 teams' crew chiefs, in addition to docking the teams and drivers 100 regular season points and 10 playoff points. Last week, the National Motorsports Appeals Panel made a decision about the sentence. They upheld the $400,000 fine and crew chief suspensions, but they took back the most important part of the punishment and gave back all the points. Reducing a penalty gets mixed responses. Hendrick Motorsports was happy with the ruling made by the 3-person panel. Jeff Gordon, vice chairman of HMS, told Racer.com.
Well, I'm probably looking at it a little bit different than you are, because I don't know that we should have ever had the points taken away to begin with. But, yeah, it's been a good week. It's been really stressful trying to, to prep for an appeal and not knowing what the outcome is going to be. We're certainly happy with, what the appeals committee came to that conclusion. But at the same time, we feel like we laid out enough information there that it shouldn't have ever happened, or even the monetary side of it and the crew chief side of it. We were really hoping we were going to get all of that back.
NASCAR didn't know what to do. The group said in a statement, "We are glad that the National Motorsports Appeals Panel agreed that Hendrick Motorsports broke the rules. However, we are sad that not all of the punishment was enforced. A points penalty is a strong deterrent that is needed to run the garage when rules are broken, and we think it was an important part of the punishment in this case and in the future. We will continue to check and referee the NASCAR garage with the utmost care to make sure that our fans and everyone in the garage have a fair chance to win." NASCAR sends Hendrick Motorsports message after Richmond, saying, "The last part of NASCAR's statement shows where the organization stands and how it won't let anything stop it from going forward." After Sunday's race, which Kyle Larson won, officials followed through. It was interesting to see that 2 of Larson's HNS teammates, Byron and Alex Bowman, had their cars taken back to the R&D Center for a more thorough check. NASCAR made the announcement on April 6 that both drivers had been docked 60 points and 5 playoff points apiece, and that their interim crew chiefs had been fined $75,000 and suspended for 2 races each. Both of the Hendrick vehicles received citations from NASCAR for breaking the following sections. Section 14.1.d. Next-gen single-source vendor-supplied parts and slasher kits cannot have any extra parts, repairs, deletions, or changes made to them that aren't specifically allowed by the NASCAR rules. According to Section 14.1.2.b, all of the individual components and assemblies have to be in accordance with the NASCAR engineering changelog. Section 14.5.6.b states that the greenhouse may be modified in order to provide room for a windshield wiper motor on racetracks that demand it. These kinds of modifications will be allowed on all racetracks. The modification to the greenhouse needs to be in accordance with the accompanying drawing. And now Hendrick Motorsports has made it clear. The team said on Monday that it will not be appealing the fines that were handed down to the number 24 and number 48 teams for a violation that was found after the race on April 2 at Richmond Raceway. What do you think about the decision of Hendrick Motorsports not to appeal for the second penalty? Let us know in the comments section below. Be sure to hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates. Hendrick Motorsports released a statement saying that they would not be appealing the penalties that were handed down on April 6 because we will be best served by devoting our time and resources to competing each weekend. NASCAR's focus on one part of the race cars has nothing to do with how well we do on the track. Byron didn't like being punished for the second time this season. He told reporters at Bristol Motor Speedway last weekend, "I'm not very happy."
Not happy. I'm not happy about it, so it is what it is. I mean, yeah, you could.
Most of the time, NASCAR doesn't take the winning or second place cars to the R&D Center in Concord, North Carolina after a race. This is because these cars go through a thorough check at the track. NASCAR can send any car it wants to the R&D Center to find out more about it.
I feel like they can take all the cars to the R&D Center, so I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm not happy. You tell me. It doesn't look very random, does it? It's not a stain for us. We don't really look outside of our team, so our team's been great this year, and we'll keep it going. Yeah, I don't have anything good to say.
The Hendrick Motorsports driver rarely shows his anger in public, but his 3-minute talk with reporters at Bristol Motor Speedway was one of the few times he did. While on the other hand, Alex Bowman had something different to say. Even though Bowman hasn't won a race yet in 2023, his number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet has been the most consistent car in the season, with an average finish of 7.1. But since March 15, Bowman has gone from first in the standings to 27, back to first, and now 7th. This is all because NASCAR gave him penalties. Hendrick has decided not to appeal, so Bowman is once again fighting for points he didn't lose on the track going into Sunday night's dirt race at Bristol 10 Motor Speedway. Bowman said on Saturday, "All I do is drive it."
And William to go back after the penalty was overturned the week before.
That's a random inspection, man. It's completely random, so just chances got us there.
Does a points penalty change the way you race or approach the rest of the regular season?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's obviously we want to be leading points, but at the same time, we're not. We're still, I think, what are we, 7th or 8th in points? So, we just got to keep plugging away at it. We've had a good start to the year, and we just got to keep performing. Well, it's suboptimal, right? But it doesn't. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with me. It's my job to drive the race car and perform at the highest level that I'm capable of behind the wheel of the race car. And I feel like we've had a good start to the year, and just running as well as we have has got me feeling pretty good about things. It's the best start to the season that I've had in my career. So I've been enjoying that. I'm not frustrated. I feel like my team, we did a really good job of overcoming the first one and staying, plugged in and not letting it get to us. And I'm confident that we can do that throughout the second one as well.
So that is for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what you think about the video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.